I'm a photographer. I'm photographing today.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the world of dust. To the age of dust, sorry, not the
Big up,
world of
Dust.
dust.
Big up, big up.
Boom!
Boom.
Now I have a very special guest for you in the form of this magnificent human being in front of us at the age of dust. If I can
I've
get a slightly move over slightly over
I've
there.
never been called a magnificent human being in my life.
Well, you deserve it.
Oh, thank you for the accolade, Mr. Dust.
Why one of the things that makes him so wonderful is he's a regular live streamer, and which he'll discuss in a moment, and has dedicated so much time and energy to reporting to you the world on his channel, which he'll articulate in a moment to you, and does it almost bias free. Oh, there you go. He's got his. What
Big up, big
I
up,
need to
big up,
get
big up.
one of those cards. Thank you very much.
Big up, Street Mike.
So the first question is, who are you, and what's your channel?
So, Dust, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity for you to interview me. My name is Wendell Daniel from Street Mike, and normally,
Subscribe.
so subscribe to Street Mike and hit that button. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook twice. Normally, I'm down here live streaming, but today I'm here with my other camera because I'm a photographer as well. So today I'm down with my normal photographic camera, and I've decided to ensure that I'm not live streaming today. I just want to give people like Dust the opportunity to interview me, but also I want to go around and watch and listen and capture different imagery other than always live streaming. Because when I do, I'm so focused on what's going on in front of me, sound, visuals, I get bored with it.
That's right. But look, before we get on to that, which I definitely will be doing, just tell us a bit about you. What made you the person you are today? What was your interests in life, career, and what have you focused you before coming to Speaker's Corner?
Yeah. One thing I won't disclose is my career. That's private. I'm not telling people what that is. After April 2023, I told people about that, but that's for a reason. But what motivates me, what
Motivation.
inspires me, what keeps me going? I'm 58 years old. I was born in Barbados. I've been in this country since 1973. And one love I've always had is imagery, photographs. So I started as a photographer, and I went from being a photographer to being a videographer, and as a direct result of COVID-19, I then went into that word. No, I'm not going into detail. As a direct result of COVID-19, I then become a live streamer, because live streaming, especially one career I do have is within the funeral industry. And when people pass away, especially within the black and ethnic minority communities, their family can't fly over to this country. So we're now live streaming. So
Very noble.
live streaming as boom. So, and as a result of that, I do it tomorrow. We got the Queen's funeral. I can't live stream that because I'm doing a funeral of my own. I'm doing a funeral on Wednesday where the person was murdered in London, where it doesn't matter. So, capturing imagery through live streams and videography and engaging with people is something I really do love. And there's nothing better for me than to come out on the streets, just like you. It's not about going in the studio, it's about coming on the streets and doing what you love best. And I love it.
What I'm gathering here is that you're touching upon some sort of social justice as recording the traumas that happen in society around us and making sure that not only do they get recorded, but you're actually contributing to people that can't make a very important funeral and helping them in their most desperate hour and helping them feel they're still connected to a community many miles away through the use of wonderful technology.
That's correct. And another thing I'll also do, yeah, in regards to that social justice, most people know me, Street Mike. I'm on the streets. Anything that happens in London, some of the biggest events, I'm there live streaming at the moment, regardless if you agree with it or not. We have the Queen Lane estate down at Westminster Hall. Yesterday, I was down in Westminster engaging with people who had been queuing up all night. On Wednesday, I was outside Downing Street when her coffin went by, I've been to Buckingham Palace. I've been to um, Windsor, and also yesterday I was outside of um, Scotland Yard helping the family of Chris Cubber, who was shot and killed by the Metropolitan Police in Streatham 2 weeks ago. I was worked with Sasha Johnson. I do lots of great things with my camera.
Look up Sasha Johnson. She's a very intriguing person of a certain brilliance, I believe, working with Black Lives Matter, which I think personally is a very important movement. And you're helping tremendously in their message, which is, I think, for all people of majority groups need their message to be heard. And I think you're definitely doing that and contributing to the betterment of society.
But also, I agree with you, like specifically with Sasha Johnson. I did a lot of work with her prior to before she was shot on the 23rd of May last year in Concert Road in Peckham. 35 Concert Road to be exact. I worked with her. I did some amazing interviews, one of the most intelligent people I've ever met. But one thing you will notice with the work I do, I try not to give an opinion, because I try to be impartial, and I don't want to be connected with purely Black Lives Matter, this group, that group. I'm trying to engage with every single person to bring the viewers the truth about what goes on the street. So yesterday I'm with Black Lives Matter. 2 weeks ago I'm in Telford with Tommy Robinson. So that's one extreme to another.
Tommy Robinson being a Nazi here in the UK.
So I'm going from one extreme to another, and that demonstrates me trying to be impartial.
I think that's brilliant, by the way, and very important service you're giving community. So I think we're seeing what brought you to Speaker's Corner then? What was the rumor on the street? Did you see it on YouTube? What was that first fire that brought you here?
People won't believe it when I say this. I do not watch TV, and I've said it to people. I do not watch TV.
Neither do I.
I do not look at social media. I do not look at Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, none of those things. So I'm a radio person, and I listen. I listen to what goes on.
Wow.
A friend of mine has said to me on numerous occasions, because of what I do, why don't I come for Speaker's Corner? He's been asking me for years. Dr. Zaki, big up. So, I said, yeah, I'll come. Yeah. So eventually last year I decided to come. And since turning up, I believe it was about a month or so after Hatem Tash was shot. That would have been
stabbed.
Sorry, beg your pardon, Freudian slip. So I got Sasha Johnson in my head about her being shot. After Hatem was stabbed, I believe it was the 27th of July or 26th of July last year.
I was there that day.
Yeah, so about a month after that, so about August last year, I started coming to Speaker's Corner. And Speaker's Corner has now become part of my Sunday repertoire. I love coming down here, engaging with all of the different people. Yet again, I try to be impartial. I don't care you're Muslim. I don't care if you're Hindu. I don't care if you're Rastafarian. I don't care if you're atheist. You say what you want to say, then I want to engage with you and talk with you. And, and for me as a person, trying to be impartial, I must admit, it's hard, and it's taken me years to get to where I am now. But when I'm impartial, I see the world differently. I see what people say, and I see how biased and prejudiced they are in the stuff that comes out their mouth. And, I try to I got my views on things, but I hold them back and I let people speak.
So is it right to describe what you've just said as Speaker's Corner has helped you with your vision of society and community and people's ideas?
Yeah, I would concur with that, yes.
So,
it has changed my views on people, because I've seen everyone down here. They've all got a point of view, right or wrong, it's irrelevant to me. For example, you got the Muslims. They've got their point of view about their Quran. You got the Christians. They've got their point of view about the Bible. Who's right and who's wrong? It's not for me to decide. I see both sides, and I can see where both are coming from. And I can see where both love Jesus Christ, their God, or they love Muhammad, the Prophet.
So this has been quite an experience for you then, Speaker's Corner.
Yeah.
So, and an experience has been positive in your life and has expanded your horizons that can be our limitations in our mind. So why is it you think there's not more Speaker's Corner across the world? And would you like to see, and do you think Speaker's Corner could work in Iran or Cuba or America? Could you see that?
You know, one thing I do love about Speaker's Corner, you have the right to come here to, you got freedom of speech, but with that comes certain responsibilities.
Whoa.
With certain
Yes.
responsibilities. But in general, you can come here, but some countries would never permit it. We get a lot of Americans come here. They say they will love this kind of thing to be in their country, but it's not for various different reasons. You get what I'm saying? The government would never permit it. But I can see the benefits of Speaker's Corner. For example, I see people down here, they're listening to what's going on. The security forces watch Speaker's Corner. They know what people are saying. They know who's who and what is what and what people are thinking. I know as well as everyone else does. My live streams are so good. I know they watch them in Bleeding
Yeah.
Scotland Yard.
Let's focus on the positive.
No,
And
no, no, no. That is a positive. I think it's a positive from
how,
the point
how you get
from the point of view. It's a positive. Yeah, we have the right to come here, no matter what your point of view is, and you can argue and discuss.
Yeah.
And it happens here, and we set the standards for the world, and all over the world,
Set standards. That's a
and
very
all
beautiful.
over the world, they are envious of what we do here at Speaker's Corner, and they wish they could do exactly the same.
Because right now, I'm going to pan, if you don't mind, I'm just going to pan the camera around quickly,
See the
just
people.
so that everyone can see what we're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
right now. Do you mind holding that? And
I will
more
do.
than welcome. So, what we're seeing, by the way, is Muslims and Christians and atheists and agnostics and a myriad of other different people right here, right now. And I'm going to pan around to show you how human beings really, of different ideas, do absolutely interact with each other.
And what I will do, as thus pans the camera, and we can see people of all walks of life, all ages, all races, all nationalities. You know, over there in front, we got Christians, we got Muslims, we got a man and a lady with a dog. We've got people here, atheists. In the background, we got Muslims, we got people riding by in their bicycle. This is what is great about Great Britain, Speaker's Corner. And at this moment in time, there's no violence, and you may disagree with what they're saying, but in general, it's respectful.
I think that's what you've just said there is perfectly, wonderfully and said,
So I'm good
and
with
a
it.
gold standard. But unfortunately, there are, as you said a moment ago, we have freedom of speech is a great gift given to us, but unfortunately, there are still nevertheless certain should be or could be certain rules that are sort of standard. So if I was just to come here to abuse you and do that every single week, see, that's not really freedom of speech.
But it depends on what your definition is of abuse.
Just a swearing.
If it's words, I believe you can come here and say what you need to say, as long as you don't, if you don't threaten to kill me, kill my family, or, you know, I'm talking about those responsibilities. If you want to cuss me and call me a N word, I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
It's only words. You get what I'm saying? But
I don't want to test that.
no, 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 no. But all I'm saying is that I believe in the freedom of speech. You can come in this forum here, Speaker's Corner, say what you want to say, and I'm not going to rise to the bait. Once I go out there past that fence, you can't say the same thing. If you want to abuse me, we can fight. We're going to lick you down. But in here, you have the right. But I believe in do so in a respectful way. Other people may not. There's some people I believe, and if you want to ask me a specific question, I'll tell you. I believe, and I like them, and I engage with them. But I believe they step over a line with that freedom of speech, and they've become hateful in what they're doing. They've stepped over the line, and it's no longer freedom of speech. It's going on to something else. That's where a line should be drawn.
Yeah, and unbelievably, I like to say I completely agree with that. I do think that it's exploited just to vent a past trauma that unfortunately individuals here have experienced, and in doing so, they do pervert what Speaker's Corner is and what freedom of speech it is. And we don't need to do names.
Yeah.
I do without.
But no, there's none. But you
There's
know
no
what
need.
I believe. In my opinion, I love Speaker's Corner, and what is now beginning to happen at Speaker's Corner. At the moment, we're fortunate because there's a lot of respectful debate going on, but quite often at this location, what happens is that situations are generated or manufactured purely for engagement on social media. And I don't like that. There's some people down here, when they're here, you know who I'm talking about, but it's not about mentioning names. They're not here to
We don't
defend
need to mention
themselves.
them.
They're not here to defend
I'll
themselves.
interview them. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
yeah, yeah. And they come here to be so, what's the right word? Offensive,
Obnoxious.
that are obnoxious, that are provocative, yeah. That they
Provocateurs.
start fights and they get beaten up on a regular basis. And I don't see the point.
Right. Okay. Let's. You're a very wise man. And you've experienced a lot here, and I'm sure our viewers can learn a lot from you from this question. Can you just name some main brilliant characteristics that you can bring to this park when interacting? Being courteous is obviously the first one. What would you like to see a human being bring to this park in a way of debating with someone they don't agree with?
Yeah, I believe you should not interrupt an individual. Let them say what they got to say, and then you then say what you need to say. Some
Can I
people,
just interrupt you
yeah,
there
yeah.
quickly? That's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. A
No,
little
no,
bit of
no,
humour.
but it is important, yeah, to be respectful. Let a man develop his argument,
Or woman.
or woman's person develop their argument. I apologize. Once they've developed their argument, you got to have a good memory to be able to counter that. And I see many people down here, they can recount what has been said. But when you're, like I've seen over there, when certain individuals, they're heckling, they're shouting down, they're cussing. That is not a respectful debate. Yeah, I will show it because my viewers love that stuff. Yeah, no, and they do. But I personally, I will sit down and I want to hear both sides of an argument respectfully. Intellectually, I'm stimulated by decent discussion. You know, there's some of the speakers down here who do heckle. When they talk about being respectful, and I do see them do it. Yeah, there's certain speakers over the road there. I like their approach because they're allowed, they'll have their say, then you come back and it's back and forth banter. But when man is interrupting and cussing no, 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 that's not respectful debate.
I think you've given a very good description of what you like to see more of that.
Be nice to people.
I like to say thank you for doing that. Is there anything else you'd like to say could benefit Speaker's Corner?
What I want to see happen more at Speaker's Corner is that I want to see more women. But that's an agenda I'm pushing. I want to see more women being involved
Thank you.
here at Speaker's Corner. And I do. It is too male dominated. There's also too much religion going on down here. I'm bored every week filming, engaging 90% of its religion. When we get people like Danny Shine coming down, it's different. When we get people like Dust coming down, it's different.
That's me.
I want to see more debate, more relevance to debate. For example, the Queen has died. The Queen is currently the Queen is currently laying in state, spelt two ways, laying or lying, two different ways to spell it. And I want to see. Let's have a debate. But at the moment, let's be respectful of the Queen. Tomorrow is her state funeral. So from Tuesday, we can start talking about King Charles and the relevance of the monarchy. We can talk about King Charles cheating on his wife, but
Yeah.
let's do that on Tuesday. No, no, no. So what I'm saying is,
Focus on Speaker's Corner.
yeah, no, 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 no. But I'm talking about Speaker's Corner.
All right.
What I'm like to see is debates like that happening at Speaker's Corner, but it's not happening. It does happen. I had a man last week when I was preparing for my live stream. I saw him. God save the king. And I started my live stream with him last week. And I had a really good engagement with him about the royal family. And I started it that way because it was different and it wasn't religion. I discussed with this lady last week. Like she's a contributor down
I'll have
there.
you on in a minute.
Yeah.
We're just doing a
We're
one
just
to one.
finishing them.
Yeah,
But
you're next.
I want to see more women. I also want to see more young people here at Speaker's Corner because they can contribute something. One of the best debates I saw was with some teenagers a few weeks ago talking about contraception and all them kind of things. It's brilliant. Isn't religion. So I want to see more women. I want to see more young people. And the final thing I want to see is less events being manufactured for social media to get engagement. That is wrong.
Yes, that is definitely a massive
I see it all
negative.
the time, man.
Massive negative that I and the police also have mused upon, that it is here just for the thrills rather than the actual speaker's corner. But can I say just thank you very much? But actually, one more thing before I forget. Would you and me at some point like to go for a coffee and maybe try and discuss what you've just said, trying to introduce more people to the park and what plans we can probably make? Would you be
Yeah, no,
open to that?
I've got no problem in doing that, and I'm happy to do so because this is a world-renowned location. We got to do what we can in the best way we can to promote that and to get more people to engage and to become involved. And people are not going to become engaged and involved by seeing it being male-dominated, to see there always been fights, and to see swearing. That ain't the way. You know, let's have debates about everything, not just religion.
Brilliant.
Every single thing. So I'm happy to do that.
And one last thing, can you leave the world with a positive thought?
I always try to leave the world with a positive thought. And the positive thought is we are at Speaker's Corner. It is. I am privileged to be here. It is a world renowned location. Let's do the best we can to promote this place around the world. And you know something that would be great? To see Speaker's Corner, like you asked the question, being introduced all over the world. You mentioned
Ooh,
Canada.
yes,
No, you didn't mention. You mentioned America, Cuba,
Anywhere.
Iran, all of those places, because it would teach us something. Having respectful debates. But you know something, funnily, in my country, I come from Barbados, there's a Speaker's Corner in every village. It's called a rum shop, where people have debates and chat every day.
Wow, that is tremendous. I think you agree what we've just heard there is some of the best Speaker's Corner can conjure up and think and articulate out into this universe. So give him a round of applause,
Big
a
up,
thumbs
big up,
up.
big up, big up,
What's
big
your
up.
channel again?
Street Mike live stream on YouTube, Street Mike live stream on Facebook, and Street Mike podcast on Facebook. Normally I'm a live streamer, but today I'm a photographer
Yes.
and I'm not live streaming today. So I'm going around with taking some lovely pictures of dust. Big up.
So thank you. Can we get a
So big up. Do
brilliant?
you want to give me a kiss?
We'll do that later. That's a bit too graphic. I didn't intend it to go
He's
there.
not going to use that.
Didn't get to there, but it did go there. So that's what Speaker's Corner. It's a novelty, a passion, a debate, and meeting brilliant people. Because the thing about debate is you've got to learn how to have a debate, and doing it regularly each week teaches you how to have a debate, and it's a great gift. So
But also doing this regularly, like what Dusty's doing, I take my hat off to his different approach. He's trying something new, and I like his microphone. This reminds me, can I be honest? When I was in Cuba, and I pulled the image out, there were some young boys. They didn't have a proper microphone, but they were using a twig to pretend it. But you've actually got a microphone on a twig, so it's brilliant. You're trying something new to give people things differently. Big up.
thank you. Can you say subscribe to the Age of Dust?
So I want all of you guys to subscribe to the Age of Dust. One thing, he is doing it differently. It takes time to build a channel.
Yes.
It doesn't happen overnight. And the way you build a good channel is with quality content. Whoop. and that takes time, but also quality sound. See this little twig? Yeah,
He's mocking my twig.
yeah, I like the twig. Yeah, but I want to see proper microphones. But that will come with time. It doesn't happen overnight.
Thank you ever
Big
so
up.
much. You're an absolute star,
I know,
Speaker's
let me know.
Corner. So that's, yes. So you're coming up next. I'm just going to say, so that is Who is Speaker's Corner. Speaker's Corner is wonderful people like that.